Before you move into your new home, dear friend, be sure to check its history. It might have been an ancient cemetery, a site for a serial killer who claimed many innocent lives, or a place of various suicides. The history of a place is crucial to know, lest you encounter ghosts. Francis Sorrell, a wealthy man, came to Savannah County in Georgia and bought a vacant lot where he built a massive three-story house with a large garden. He married Lucinda Moxley, who came from a wealthy Georgia family. Unfortunately, Lucinda passed away 5 years after their marriage due to an illness inside their home. Servants' descendants have said that their ancestors advised Frances to cover all the mirrors after her death. It was a local belief that spirits dwelled in mirrors and could become trapped if the mirrors weren't covered for at least 7 days. Frances dismissed these beliefs as old superstitions and didn't cover the mirrors. 2 years after Lucinda's death, Frances married her sister Matilda, who was 23 years old at the time. Coincidentally, Francis's wealth grew significantly after their marriage, making him one of Georgia's most prominent businessmen. Francis had a son named Frank Sorrell, whose mother was one of the two sisters. Frank studied and practiced medicine, using the first floor of their home as a clinic for experimental psychiatric treatments. No one knows how many patients Frank treated as he kept no records. Strange occurrences were noted, such as small, peculiar celebrations where the house was especially perfumed, particularly the first floor and the doors leading to the basement. In 1865, a scandal broke out when Matilda discovered Francis's infidelity with a servant. She threw herself from the third floor, landing in the backyard garden, and died. A few days later, the implicated servant was found hanged. Over time, the servants and local residents began to avoid the house, deeming it a place for tormented and evil spirits. They reported strange occurrences like footprints embedded in stones, eerie humming sounds, and glass breaking at midnight. An eerie tale was about the house's guests during those celebrations. Descendants of the servants and some local residents claimed that the same guests attended each celebration, always appearing the same way, with identical smiles and movements, as if in a repetitive dramatic scene. No one knew who they were or had seen them outside the house. They had only appeared shortly before Matilda and the servants' deaths. To this day, no one knows if these guests were spirits or ghosts, adding to the house's haunted reputation. Eventually, Francis Sorrell died in the house, and his son Frank mysteriously disappeared. The house was sold to Henry Davis White. It is said that the land where Sorrell White House stands witnessed thousands of deaths during the American Revolutionary War, making it a ground soaked in blood. The house was converted into a museum in 1940 for paranormal enthusiasts and horror fans. Many visitors have shared terrifying stories, all unanimous about the strange energy in the place.